Hey guys, Chris here with SideHustleAcademy.com, and today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough with you on a course that I've been a part of for a long time now called Dropship Lifestyle. And I've actually been working with this course and its course owner. His name is Anton Craley. Now, I don't know him personally or anything like that, but I've been a part of this course for a long time. I've been asking questions in their membership group and stuff like that. I've been building my own drop shipping store as well. And today I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the course. So if you're somebody who is basically looking to learn more about this course, and maybe you followed Anton on his YouTube channel or his podcast and signed up with his email list, and you've been really going back and forth of whether you wanted to join this program or not, I'm going to give you basically a behind the scenes look, show you everything that you're going to get along with this program, and just basically give you a walkthrough of what you will receive as someone who is a part of the program. So once you have bought the program, you're going to log in to the members area here, and you're going to log into the actual blueprint itself. You'll come to a page that looks something like this, and then you'll just want to click on Dropship Blueprint and just click to start the lessons. Now, this is actually the process that I'm going through right now. I'm building this course and building this store of my own e-commerce store. And if you're somebody who basically is looking to start your own e-commerce business, this is a great way to do it because it's very low cost, doesn't involve a ton of money or anything. You don't have to invest thousands of dollars to do this. Although you can if you want, that is an option. I don't really recommend that because you don't have to. You don't have to do it. You can do all this stuff yourself. You can get started for literally just the cost to sign up for Shopify and a few other small things, and really you've got a business going. But I will mention this overall, this business is a business. It's not just like something you're going to do fly by night. This is more of a business, more than just say starting a blog or doing affiliate marketing or something like that. This is a lot more of that, and I'm going to go through all of that here. Now, once you get into this page here, there is a lot to the blueprint itself. Actually, there are actually 7 full modules. 8 if you count module 0, and then plus member discounts and the introduction. So let's just go through the basic overview of the modules themselves. So first you got the introduction, start here. We're going to dive into all of these as we go. But the first one here is introduction, where you start here. This is what you'll do once you sign up for the course. They also offer some member discounts for special products like Shopify and other ones that I'll talk about here in just a second. They also have an overview module, which is going to give you some basic overviews of things and how this particular business model works. I'll get into that as we go as well, and because that is extremely important as you're building any side hustle, is understanding the business model. I think a lot of people don't understand that when they're getting into any type of side business. Next, we have module 1, where we'll cover niche selection, how to pick niches and find the ones that are right for you. And then module 2, you'll take those niches and do market research on them, and you'll figure out which of those niches are ones that will basically work for the type of business model that you'll be searching for here. Now, after that, once you have picked your niche and verified that it is a good niche to get started with, you're going to get into module 3, where you'll create your website and build your actual store. And I've actually done this part and all that already, so which is great. It's actually pretty neat how it kind of all flows together. So then after that, you'll get into module 4, where you'll get dropship suppliers, where you actually contact suppliers and start building your business. After that, you'll get into module 5, where you'll optimize your website for conversions, and so that way you can retain every possible sale that you can possibly get. And then module 6, you'll start turning on the traffic. You'll turn on different sources of traffic in your business that you can start driving traffic to your website immediately. It's not something you have to wait for. It will show you exactly which ones to start with and how to use them the most effective way possible. And then once you've got that done, you'll learn to start outsourcing and automating tasks once you start to grow a viable business. So with that said, let's get into these modules here. So let's start here. The very first thing that you're going to get once you get into this course here is you're going to go through a welcome video that Anton is going to talk to you basically about the business and how to go through the course and stuff like that. And that's important because this whole business, if you think of it like a checklist, this whole business model and course is designed as a checklist. As you can see, check marks pop up here right beside the tasks and the things that I have completed along the way. On top of that, it'll talk about how to join their private forums and Facebook group, both of which I will show you how to get into those here in just a second. And the thing I will also say here is these are hugely valuable. The Facebook group especially, because there are so many questions asked there every day, and I can jump in there real quick if I've got a question and get things answered right away. There's also a code of ethics video. Obviously, we want people that are in the course, they want people in there that are not going to spam and things like that. He goes through all that. There's going to also be monthly coaching calls with Anton that you can join. These are free. These come with the program. Once you pay the one-time price, you are in, and you can go to every one of these calls. You can also go back and listen to all the old calls as well, which is great. You can get into those as well and listen to all the calls there. So, which is great. I've listened to most of them, not quite all of them yet, and I've been in all the new ones recently, so they're really good. Also, mindset. They got a nice course here, our video here on mindset and how to get your best results and how to think about your business and how to act. You know, this isn't just a business that's a fly-by-night thing and stuff like that, and it teaches you how to think about your business, which is great. And then they also have a checklist that you can get as well for this particular course. So these things are what they'll cover in the very beginning. Now, I should also mention here while I'm going through this course is not a built this course one time and put it up on some website and it's there. This course actually is a living, breathing document, basically. Things change in this industry, and Anton is really good about updating these courses. So maybe what you might be seeing now, if you're a part of the membership, might be different than what I'm showing you right now. So just know that because he does update these things from time to time, which is going to happen. So he also covers some discounts and free trials that you can get if you become a member of Dropship Lifestyle. Things like signing up for Shopify. Another one would be Mighty Call, Canva. So he's got a few of these in here, and he changes these from time to time depending on what he can seem to get really good deals for and what also fits his students the best. That's what I feel like. He's always trying to benefit the students as much as possible. It's not just trying to make a buck off them or anything like that. He's actually trying to help give you the best possible thing here. So that would be the member discounts area. And next we have Module 0, the overview part of this course, which is great. He really gets into what I love about this particular Module 0. He does that I think a lot of courses do not do, especially in dropshipping. Gives a big picture overview and explains the business model. And why this is so important is because the business model, I feel, is one of the most important things that people need to look at, but it's also the thing that a lot of people just don't consider when they're looking at buying a course like this. They think, well, I want to get into drop shipping, so here's a course, let's buy it. No, what is the business model? And the business model, and if you followed his YouTube channel, which I'll link to in the section below this video, and his podcast as well, he talks about this a lot in his videos as well, where his business model is to drop ship expensive products, say $500 to $1,000 or more. And the reason he suggests this is because these types of products actually will give more of a return. And he has a really good analogy of how he does this. So if you want to check more of that out, you can definitely go to his YouTube channel and check all those videos out there. But his business model is basically built around drop shipping higher priced products, say $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, or even $2,500. These products ranges are better because you only have to sell one or two products to make a decent profit. For example, if you were selling a $1,000 product and you were earning 25% of that product as a earnings, you would make $250 on that product. Whereas if you were selling a $10 product, say an iPhone case or something like that, you would only make a $2.50. So he goes through that in the foundations of dropshipping, key terms, and how we make money, this particular part of the course. He goes through why that is so important and why you need to understand that. And that concept is important because if you look at a lot of the other dropshipping courses out there, their primary way they're telling you to sell products is to go on a website called Alibaba.com or go to a thrift store and buy products and list them on eBay or something like that. And those methods are some of the worst ways to run a business. Because if you think about it, if you sell a $1,000 product and make $250, versus a $10 product where you make $2.50, you have to sell 100 of those $10 products to make the same money you just made with selling one product at $1,000. And that's why this is so important to understand. So this course really lays out that foundation and just starts at the very beginning. They don't just throw you into something and you don't understand anything. They start at the very beginning, and I like that part of it. They also talk about business formation, basically sole proprietor, LLC, or S Corp. For all of these things and all purpose, if you want to start an LLC, great, go ahead, or an S Corp, great, go ahead. I don't really recommend doing that in the very beginning, though. I recommend starting as a sole proprietor. And the only reason he recommends starting an LLC is because it gets the liability off of you. If someone would happen to sue your business, yes, they could take, if you're a sole proprietor, they could take your house. They could take any money you would have in an account. They will sue you for everything you got. I don't want to make that sound like it's a great and easy business. There is some tough things to understand about that, and maybe you need to set up an LLC to mitigate some of that risk. You may have to talk to a lawyer or an accountant as well. I'm definitely not one of those, so you have to make that choice yourself. But my personal position on it is, and this is the way I decided, is that a sole proprietor is definitely the best way to go, because to me, you never know if a business is going to work out. You might start it and it might totally just not work. And the last thing you want to do is spend all this time and money setting up an LLC only just to dissolve it a few months down the road and waste a ton of money. So my recommendation is go with a sole proprietorship, and then once you start to make some money, talk to your accountant, talk to your lawyers, and get an LLC set up at that point. But definitely talk to your accountant and attorney if you need to. Next, they also recommend how to set up your business bank accounts and do that. And this is very helpful, what kind of accounts you should also set up and how to set those up. He also gives credit card recommendations, how to use your business. They basically, when they sell a product, they charge it to a credit card that you own, and that's how they get charged for the product. So now you might be thinking, if you're somebody who doesn't have very good credit, you might be like, well, I don't want a credit card or anything like that. That's perfectly fine. Set up an account and get a debit card. That is probably another way to look at this. Well, the reason he recommends the credit cards is because you can rack up a lot of cash back or rewards or air miles, things like that, because you're going to be running all of your advertising and things like that through your business, your shipping, your cost of goods, and all of the the advertising and things like that are all going to be going through your credit card. So you're going to get 2% cash back if you have a good rewards card, like a 2% cash back is what I use. It works great because, you think about it, if you spend, let's say $10,000 a month, 2% cash back, well, that's a lot of extra money in your pocket you could use to buy other things and stuff for your business, take trips, travel, those kinds of things. So it's another way to pay you back in your business as well. Then also it talks about taxes, business and personal, some things you need to set up. You need to have a tax certificate for your state that you're in and collect taxes and stuff like that. And also may want to talk to your attorney. This is a very general type lesson on taxes, but you'll definitely want to talk to an attorney, or not attorney, but your accountant as well. So, all right, moving on. Now that we have module 0 covered, I know I went through a lot there. It's not a lot, but just go through them. You should be able to get through module 0 fairly quickly and then move right on into module 1. Now, module 1, this is where we start niche selection and in the next module after is market research. These two modules, if I could recommend anything at this point, and this is what I did, and I heard somebody say this, I don't know who exactly said it. Maybe Anton recommended it at one time, but I was on a call and he did say if he would take time on any of these modules, take the time on any of these modules to complete. And he definitely recommended taking the most time for module 1 and 2. Picking your niche is the most important thing you will do, because if you think about it, everything revolves around that niche. So take your time. For me, I took summer right around 6 months to actually pick my niche. It took quite a while for me to actually pick the niche that I was in, because I just wanted to make sure it was the right thing and that people were really going to buy the product that I was going to recommend to them on my website. Now, there are going to be some sure ways to help know and double check that I'm going to get to here in a little bit here in module 2, but let's get started with module 1 first. At this point, you're just going to go through the entire module and start thinking about different things that you need to consider when picking a niche. And at the very end of this module, you're going to write down your list of niches. And they go through a bunch of different criteria, such as pricing criteria, product size and weight and profit, target market, brand loyalty, passion versus profit. And then they also give some examples of good and bad niches, which is really helpful because it's sometimes it can be a little difficult to decide, well, is this niche going to work for me or is it not? And then we get into brainstorming. It talks about how to brainstorm your ideas. They also give you a spreadsheet to help you build up your list and build up a large list of different niches that you can get into. And then there's also some common questions people have about brainstorming. And then at the very end, you complete the niche selection action task, which is basically the checklist for this entire module. So by the end of this module, you will have your list of niche ideas. You won't have picked it yet, but you will be at the point now where you will have a list of ideas. Okay, in module 2 here, at this point, now that you have a bunch of ideas, now we need to get into market research and basically weed out the ones that are definitely not going to work. And what I love about this module is they run you through a series of tests to help you figure out whether one of these niches actually works or not. And as you do these different tests, you'll start to mark a bunch of these different test niches off your list. You won't erase them, but you'll just mark them in red and basically know, okay, that is not going to work for this type of business. Okay, so some of these tests will include locating price points and calculating profits, tracking niche demand, running an evergreen test, running a demographics test, doing a brand loyalty test, and doing a dropship friendly test, and then creating your list of future competitors masters list. So at that point, you'll look at all the different competitors and see how competitive things will be. And then you'll extract suppliers to your master list, and then how much competition is too much competition. You'll start to look at the competition, how much competition, and they'll show you how to figure out how much competition is too much. So he goes through a lot there in this. The module probably took me the longest. I would say 3 months, at least 4 months maybe, to get through this entirely. There's a lot of work to do here because there's a lot of research you have to do. So take your time. Don't rush this. I know you want to get this business up and running fast, and you will, but don't overlook this. Don't rush this part of it. Really do your research and look at all the different things that you have to do to make this niche get done and pick it correctly. So once you've done it, go through the quiz and click all the check marks and make sure you've completed the lesson correctly. Now, once you've got through module 2 here, you're going to want to do something that is very helpful, and that is to get your niche verified. And what's really nice about this, I'll just show you this real quick, but what's nice about all of this is that you can get Anton to verify your niche. He has a ton of experience. Him and his team, I should say, have a ton of experience in getting your niche verified. So what they do is they can look at your niche, and since they know so much about these different niches from running all their own sites, they can tell you, hey, maybe you ought to not do that niche. Maybe you ought to try this one. And what's nice about it, you don't have to check every niche that you have. Let's say you find 10 niches or 5 niches that work for this type of model of business. You can submit all 5 of these to them, and they will check every single one. And if they feel like it's a good go, they'll email you back and let you know. What's great about that, and it just kind of confirms that, yes, this is a good niche to get into. You're not going to waste a bunch of time if you set up this and start this niche. And then you'll have to enter in some personal information about the niche, average price analysis, your Google Trends information, competitor analysis, and supplier analysis information to help verify that information. They'll double check to help you make sure that your niche is a viable niche. So there's definitely that. So, all right, now moving on from module 2 here, we're going to get into module 3. This is where you will create your website actually and get your website built. Now, there's 2 paths that you can definitely do here, and I chose the latter, but you can choose to do either one. It does not matter, but both will get you a result, the same result, fairly much. Now, personally, this entire module is actually done by Anton's sister. She is the one that actually does the web design and stuff like that. And you can go through all these modules and basically set up your entire website verbatim as she tells you how to do it. And some of these lessons can be a bit long. I'm trying to think. Shopify settings might be fairly long, but she's going to go give you an intro to Shopify, where to get your domain name, how to set up collections, uploading products, how to add pages and blog posts, create menus, Shopify settings, Canva, theme customizations, and how to upload Shopify apps and do discounts, codes, and beyond. There's a lot of things that go along with that too as well. That might be a lot. That was a lot for me. I'm not used to running Shopify. I'm used to running things like WordPress. So Shopify is a little bit more foreign to me. So what I decided to do is do Amazon, this right here with Anton's course, and that is to do a done for you Shopify store where they just build the store for you. And what's great about this is you have a really nice looking store done right away, and you don't have to worry about trying to make it look great. Because for me, I'm not a designer. I'm not somebody who can design a great looking website. This is just not my ability and not in my skill set. So that is an option as well. Now, I will mention this is a bit pricey. You're looking at anywhere between $2,000 to $2,500, and that price does vary from time to time. But if you are part of the program, you may be able to get a better price. It just depends. And he does send emails out from time to time. I'm not going to guarantee that by any means, but anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 as of the recording of this video. So that is an option as well. So there you go. At the end of this module, you'll have pick your niche, and you will have your website built and up and ready to go to do the next thing, which is module 4, and that is to start contacting dropship suppliers. Now, what's kind of interesting in the industry, they don't refer to them as dropship suppliers. In fact, when you call suppliers, you don't actually refer to them as dropshippers. You just refer to them as suppliers. That's just how it is. And they don't really like the word drop shipping, so don't say that. So just a word of advice. But in this particular module, you're going to basically get all the information together you need to build out and talk to your suppliers and what you need to do to figure this out. So in the very beginning here, we'll go through the introduction of what is all involved in this course, and they're going to show you what the difference between gold, silver, and bronze suppliers are. Basically, to explain it is you got great suppliers, middle of the road suppliers, and then your bronze suppliers, which are bad suppliers, the ones you really don't want to work with at all. So the gold and silver, those are the ones you want to work with. But in the very beginning, you'll probably be working with silver suppliers, and eventually, over as time goes, you'll probably be working with some gold suppliers, the really good suppliers out there. And then once you've understood this part, you're going to move into supplier research. You're going to figure out their website, their phone numbers, their email addresses. You're going to get all this information gathered up in one place. So that way, when you start to contact suppliers, you got it all right there handy and ready to go, and you can start contacting them. And then Anton's also going to go into something about trust, because dealing with suppliers, and I've had some previous experience to this with my other business that I have. I work with, I'm kind of on the opposite end of it. I run another company where I build products for other businesses, and we talk about trust as in this relationship thing and how to do that. That's just so important to a business. It can make or break a business, because if they don't trust you, they don't want to do business with you. So he goes through some things you can do to build trust with your suppliers and grow your business. And it is really enlightening. I like it. Definitely follow this lesson here. It's very, very helpful. Then we're also going to talk about good versus bad stores, basically bad suppliers, how to eliminate some of them and just move past those. And then before you start contacting these suppliers, you're going to have to do a few things. First, you're going to have to get a business email account and creation and setup. He talks about how to set that up, and there's multiple ways you could do this, but there's a specific way you need to have your email address look. It needs to have your business name in it. You don't want to set up things like a Gmail account or a Hotmail account. That is definitely not what you want to do. You also want to set up a business phone number. He shows you how to do that. And there's some inexpensive ways to do that as well, which are great and very helpful. And then they also get into how to get a business address. You want to set up a business address as well. You do not want to use your home address, because that's the last thing you want to be handing out to everybody. And for me, that sounds a little scary, but I really don't like that idea either. There's a very easy way to get that all set up, and it's very inexpensive as well. I've looked into it and done it, so it's great and fairly cheap. It's actually, I think it's only like from my area to get that business address, it was like $12 a month. It's great, it's simple, it's cheap. So, and then we finally get into the phone and email scripts. Now, you might be thinking at this point, man, I've got to call suppliers. I've got to call these people. Why can't I just email them and just, see if they'll let me sign up? Well, to be honest, if you want to get fast results in this business and you want to get going quickly, you're going to have to get on the phone. Now, you might be thinking, I got to talk to people. This sounds crazy, right? Well, think about it this way then. Have you ever called somebody on the phone, like another business, let's say like your cable company or electric company? I mean, there's just a business, right? And you're just asking a question about that business, right? So in this case, you're going to call a business and you're going to say, hey, Do you guys have uh, a way I can become a supplier for your sign up with your company and become an affiliated supplier for your company? And they'll let you know. You know, it's basically as easy as that. The email scripts go a little bit more and tell you exactly what to say, but that's pretty much it. You're just going to call some business owners and you're going to say, hey, can I sell your product? And on top of that, this next lesson, Supplier FAQ, he goes through a lot of different questions that suppliers will ask you. And the important thing here is I personally wrote all these down and keep them all in a doc. So that way I can keep it in front of me if they do ask those questions. I did review these questions a lot before I did start making phone calls. And I also did write the scripts down as well, because that kind of gave me a way to just review them constantly and build that all up. And then finally, supplier relationships, terms, pricing, exclusivity, and more. He goes through a bunch of other things here, how to set that all up as well. So at the end of that, you just complete the action task, check everything off, and you're ready for Module 5. Now, you're going to have to call suppliers. At this point, in the very beginning, you want to get at least, say, 5 suppliers on board, 2 at the very least, but 5 at to be just safe and everything. You want to have as many as you can get, obviously, but 2 to 5 just to get started, though. All right. Now that we have Module 4 in place, we get into Module 5, and we're going to optimize for conversions here. So what this basically means is, at this point, you're going to optimize your website that you already have, it so that way every visitor that comes to your website gives you the best advantage to get the sale. I mean, that's really what you're trying to do. Is any person that comes to your website, and let's say they come to your website and they leave right away, or they come, what are you going to do to keep that person there? If that person puts items in their shopping cart but doesn't buy them, what are you going to do to get those people to buy? What can you do? And this entire lesson and module goes through all the different things that you need to do, at least as a beginner, what to get set up and going. So what are some things you should do? First off, it's going to talk about creating urgency for your website, how to create urgency on your brand and what to focus on. Second, content templates and the perfect product page, how to set up your product page so it is the perfect setup, so that way it converts every single time. Next, getting reviews, how to get reviews from your customers and what to do if you don't have any reviews and any customers. And there are ways to get those reviews that are actually fairly easy. I'll show that they show that as well in this course. And then on top of that, they show you how to set up all your social media accounts, which ones, influence prospects with social proof, how to get that social proof, how to collect emails and set up with something called Klaviyo, which is one of the best email marketing tools for Shopify. It's one of the most deeply integrated ones. Also, how to deal with bounced visits, abandoned carts, creating bonus offers, and exploiting your competitors' weaknesses, using usability over design, in accepting financing, how to set up a financing with a couple of different programs that are available out there, and then talking to your shoppers. Believe it or not, talking to your shoppers is one of the most profitable things you can do in your business. And you might think, man, I don't want to talk to people. That I didn't think I was going to be doing. It's these people came to your website and they were in the process of buying in most cases. So when you call them, they want to talk to you because they're interested in buying that product. So if you could just call them and finish the order, why not do it? So, and then how to ethically spy on your visitors and learn more about them. And then optimizing for conversions, action tasks. So you'll complete this checklist, and once you've done that, you'll have all these optimizations in place to help you grow and get every advantage and possible to get them to buy the product from you. So once you've got that completed and you've got these set up, you can move into Module 6. This is where things really meet the road. The rubber meets the road here. This is where you're going to turn on the traffic and you're going to start building your business. And what's great about this is in getting traffic, it shows you exactly the exact traffic sources that you can start building your business with. And in fact, you can start driving people to your website like tomorrow. As soon as your ads are approved, they will be running and you will drive traffic to your website right away. This isn't something where you set up it at your website and it takes 6 to 8 months for the rankings to happen and stuff. No, we're going to set it up and we're going to start driving hundreds, if not thousands of visitors almost immediately to your website. So that is what this module is going to cover. So once you get in, you're going to have an introduction to getting traffic, and then you're going to start about feeding the machine, your e-com sales funnel. And then we're going to get into compliance checklists, because there are some things you're going to want to have in place definitely before you start setting up ads, because if you don't have these in place, your ads will definitely not get approved in any way. So the first thing you're going to do is look at Google Ads 101, and then what they are and how they work. So they'll basically explain the whole Google Shopping and all that stuff. You'll set up your Google Analytics account. You'll set up your Google Search Console account, your Google Ads account creation, set up. This is kind of an involved lesson here. It's a really long lesson, I believe. In fact, I think this particular, this one ain't the long one. I'm sorry. But there is one in here that is an extremely long lesson. And that's okay. Don't just take it piece by piece. If you have to watch it multiple times, watch it multiple times. It will be worth it in the end. Then you also set up your Google Merchant Center account, submit your products to Google Merchant Center, how to do that. Then you'll create your Google Shopping campaigns. And this is where you'll start to get the traffic to come in. And you'll also create a Google remarketing campaign. From here, Google Ads campaign optimization tips. They'll show you how to optimize for that. Then it'll also show you how to set up basically Microsoft or Bing ads in the same way. Get it basically a 101 on Bing ads, setting up their webmaster tools, getting their advertising account set up, setting up their merchant center, and then submitting your products to the Bing Merchant Center, and then creating your Bing shopping campaigns. And then you'll jump after that. You're going to jump into Facebook, and you're going to set up your Facebook Ads 101 account, where you're going to set up a remarketing campaign. So you're going to have Facebook ads account creation and setup, connect your store to Facebook ads, and then create your audiences for Facebook. And then you create your Facebook remarketing campaign at this point. And you might be thinking at this point, man, am I going to be spending a ton of money on advertising? Yes, you will be spending some money. And Anton actually recommends spending about $1,000 a month starting out. You don't have to start there. If you want to start at $10 or $15 or $20, you can. I recommend starting at the $1,000 if you can possibly afford it, because you're going to see a lot happen with that $1,000. Yes, you will spend $1,000, but you will definitely be making sales too. So remember that you should get at least, and this is what Anton recommends, that you should be getting at least a 10x return on your money. So if you're spending $1,000, yes, you should be looking at somewhere right around a $10,000 return. Now, again, if you're in the very beginning of all this and you don't know how all this works and you're still figuring it all out, it might be just a little less than that. But you got to work to optimize things and build this all up. And that's why all of these different things are a part of that, and you will build this as you grow. So as you get better and better, yes, those better numbers will come. From there, you will get into search engine domination. So they talk about search engines and how to set up and create content that would rank in Google and stuff like that. They show you how to do that. Transferred influence, the Dream 100, basically how to influence and get on other blogs that will write about you and basically link back to you to your website. Then we'll talk about the hourglass funnel, creating promotions, and get traffic in this action task. So this is the checklist at the very bottom here. So at the very end of this, you should have your business up and running and making money. Now, this is a lesson here that will take time to implement and get going, and then also optimize. So once you've got it going, you're basically going to check in on it once a week and make sure it's going. So it's not something you just set it up and forget about it. This is something you set it up and then you go back and you optimize. And then next week you go back and you optimize. You check out your ads. It might take 30 minutes. You go back, look at all your ad accounts, and you say, okay, what's working, what's not working, and how do we make this work? So he goes through all of that in this particular module and discusses everything with you, how to do it. Very, very valuable. I think that lesson, that module alone is worth thousands of dollars by itself. So definitely worth it. Finally, module 7, outsourcing and outsource and automate. So this is where once you've got your business going, you're making a positive return in income and things are really going strong for you, it's at this point that you can start to spend some of that money you've earned to automate and outsource things. So in the very beginning, you want to start by automating. These are things that can be done by programs that automatically take all these things and just make it happen automatically in your business using tools like if this, then that, and stuff like that. So it's very helpful. So one of the first things you're going to do is when and why to automate. So it'll tell you when you're ready to do that, when you should do this. The automation toolkit they go through, the automated order processing, how to automate your order processing. And just to be clear, you'll automate with certain companies, suppliers that you work with, because they're always available and you're always sending orders. This thing, once you set it up, they will send the orders automatically. You don't even have to do that anymore. In the very beginning, yes, you will send the orders automatically to your supplier, and they will charge your credit card or debit card and then process the order and ship it to your customer. After you've been working with that supplier for a while and you know the process very well, you can automate that entire process. Maybe it's to set up an if this, then that for an email that might go to a supplier and say, hey, this product got ordered. It sends an email to that supplier and says, hey, order this product, charge my card. And pretty simple, pretty cool. And it will basically take that little bit of work off your hands so you can focus on more important things. And then it'll show you how to set up abandoned cart automations, Google Sheets automations, to track your stuff, order tracking and reviews automation, and then custom order automations, and then content distribution automations and profit tracking. So all of these things are different automations that you will set up in your business and in the end, track your profit, know your numbers, and know where and how much money you're making on every single sale that you make. And that is important because this program does show you that. You will track every single order and you will know the profit of every single order and overall as well. And then once you get through automation, you can move into the final part of this module, and that is outsourcing. This is where you're going to offload some of the work that you've been doing in your business, such as dealing with service calls when somebody would call your phone number and have a question. You could hire a VA to manage that, or someone to manage your chat, or someone to manage email. You can hire these people in different ways, and they can manage all of that stuff for you so you can focus on the growth of your business, and you can delegate those tasks to them and you can focus on the growth. So now, to be clear, this isn't something you want to set up right away when you're getting started. You want to grow your business and get things going. You want to do all the processes. You want to answer the phone. You want to do chat. You want to answer the emails. You want to know how your business works, I guess, is the easiest way to say this. You want to know exactly how your business works, so that way when you do hire a VA, you know what you're looking for in someone to do this job. You know what kind of results you're going to get. You're going to tell them, hey, I get X results. 8 out of 10 people who come to my website and call me on the phone, I close the sale with. So if I'm not getting 8 out of 10, then you know that they're not doing a good job. You need to know those things in your business, and you need to do them in the beginning. But once you do know those things, you can create what are called standard operating procedures, which is the next lesson. Basically is a small process to teach people how things work. So for example, let's say when you're ordering a product with XYZ supplier, how do you do that? Maybe it's sending an email, or maybe you got to log into a portal and order the products. And that's all you got to do. It's a very simple process. It's not hard, and it's very simple. And then finally, outsourcing automation tasks. These are the checklists for this particular module. And once you've gotten to this part, you have now completed the entire business, and you should have a viable running business, making you a pretty good income, if I should say, for your business. So you will have a lot going. You'll have a great business going. You'll be making some money. And this isn't something just to just start on the whim. This is a real business, guys. And if this is something you've always wanted to do, start an e-commerce business, then this is the business model for you. So you might be thinking, is that everything? Is that everything? No, that is not everything. There is more than just this. They actually got a few more things I want to show you here, just to wrap up here. First is getting help. There's actually some different ways to get help. Anton goes through a video here, but first off, you have Dropship Labs. This is the private Facebook group that you'll sign up with. Once you see if I can open this here quick, and I'll run over to this. Yeah, this is the private Facebook group I'm a part of. It's very good. It's helpful. There are tons and tons of members. As you can tell, there are new posts coming up all the time in here. People are asking questions all the time here. So definitely you can become a member in that. And then there's the Fast Business Forum as well. I'll just see if I can get into I don't know if I can even get into it right here. Yeah, here it is. So here's the Fast Members Business Forum. Once you sign up with the course, you use the same username password. You can sign into the Dropship Lifestyle Forum, and you can ask questions in here as well. They also have the Q&A coaching calls in here, which I wanted to point out as well. So like all these different coaching calls that he's done, I think he's done almost 30 of them. These are the ones I haven't listened to yet, but yes, he's been doing these since September of 2018, and hugely valuable, hugely valuable here. And then also you can ask questions as well. And they've got private mentor, email support, stuff like that as well, that you can get as well. Now, that's not it. That is just getting questions answered and stuff like that. This is one of the most helpful parts, but then they also have the bonuses as well that come along with this course. And you got the get the 7-week quick start guide or the 21-day launch plan. Both of these are basically the way to get your business going quickly. I didn't follow either of these, just to be honest, simply because number one, I didn't want to start my business in 21 days. That is not what I'm about. I'm not about starting a business like this in 21 days. I recommend taking your time, and especially in modules 1 and 2, and really learning those things. And even in the later modules, like module 6, where you got to learning all the ads, that stuff, if you've never done it before, take your time with that stuff. Don't try to rush it. You're going to make a ton of mistakes if you do rush it. Also, they give you all the retreat recordings. So Dropship Lifestyle has an annual retreat, at least different ones they've had. The last one they did was in 2019. They obviously didn't do one in 2020 because of COVID. I think they're actually going to do the one in 2022 now. I think that is in Spain, I believe, but that one's coming soon. So they also have the 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014 was the first one, I think. And I've periodically gone through some of these and just nitpicked through some of them just to listen to them here and there. So they got some really good information in these that well worth it. Definitely something worth to look into and check out. So that's the actual retreat recordings. And then the Doing Business Abroad course. If you're somebody who is from a different country other than, say, the USA, and you're wanting to set up your business and do business in the USA, this is the course that will help you do that. So if, let's say, you live in Europe and you want to run your business in the US, this will show you how to do that. Or if you live in Southeast Asia and you want to run your business in Europe, you know what I mean? It's just how to run your business from a different area. They also have a very comprehensive Google Ads e-commerce course here that you can check out as well. This course is basically everything inside the course, but it's also another course that you can take on just Google Ads itself. Module 1 through 5, they got all that involved in there as well. It gives you everything you need to know about Google Ads and how to run it for your dropship business. They also have a help desk, and then they have this supplier directory. I've never really used this. I didn't ever think the directory was that helpful personally. And then they also have a course on selling your store if you decide to do that at some point. If you build up a very profitable e-commerce site, they actually sell for a lot of money, sometimes 30 to 40x of your net monthly multiple. So for example, if you have a store that makes $30,000 and let's say 30,000, I'll just get a calculator out real quick here just to give you this idea. So if you makes $30,000 net monthly, like $30,000 in cash profit to you in a month, and you get a, say, 30x multiple, you could get $900,000 possibly. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that personally or anything like that, but there are a lot of people who will snatch these stores up that want to buy these types of stores. So if you want an exit plan for your business and you're thinking, man, I want to do this for a while, but I don't know if I want to do it forever, this course is very helpful and one you can get a part of as well. It's got a lot of different things involved in that process. So it goes through all of them, how to evaluate, prepare in the sales process, and then FAQ and questions like that as well. All right. Now that we've covered, I believe, everything in the bonus section here, one last thing I want to cover here, and that is the done for you. These are things that are going to cost extra if you do want to have them. One of them I talked about already was the web design stuff. Definitely you could look into that. If you're not comfortable building your own site, you could definitely let Anton's team do that. You could let them build your entire website. They do that stuff. So they have a lot of glowing reviews. I can personally attest to that. Yeah, and it does start at $24.97. It is a bit expensive depending on how you want to do this. But sometimes they do offer special deals if you're on their email list. So I would definitely sign up for that if you want to get those emails. Now, it's not something that happens often, but just sign up for his email, and there's a possibility that you might get that email one day. So as far as that goes, that's the design. Then you have done for you content. So if you are not an SEO expert and you're not good at creating content for your website, then definitely this is a way to do that. He does explain how this works and how it comes together. Now, this is not cheap, but you get really high quality content here. 2 amazing blog posts per month for 6 months. That's 12 blog posts, but you get the best content beyond you're talking the best. You're going to rank in Google with this stuff. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So that's the benefit to all of this. Very good, but again, very expensive and not something you have to do if you don't want to. They also have a done for you solution on their social media marketing as well. So you can submit your information and they will get with you as well. You can get on a waiting list. This program actually isn't being offered right at this point in time, but they do offer it from time to time. And then they also have email marketing done for you. Email marketing, if you want them to handle all of your email marketing, they can do that. It's not that tough, but they will do it. Again, there is a fee to do this kind of stuff. It's not going to be cheap. I should mention that. So if you're able to do your own email marketing, like 42 customized emails for $5,000, yes, it is a bit of money, but you get quality written, well-written emails with that. You can definitely do stuff like that as well if you want to. All right, now that we are done with that, let's see here. Let's go back to the home. That pretty much wraps up this entire overview of the entire program and what's all involved and what you'll get in this walkthrough. Me personally, I feel like it's a great program, but I didn't buy it right away. I didn't get this program right away simply because I did not want to end up buying this program and end up feeling like a little bit of regret. So what I ended up doing is subscribing to his YouTube channel, his podcast, and listening to a bunch of that stuff, doing my own research about the program, and just figuring out if this is really something for me. And I did all that because I wanted to make sure I was getting in something that was right for me, not just a program to make money with, but that it actually fit my needs and what I wanted to do. So if it fits your needs, make that decision, figure that out, take notes, go through this video multiple times, figure out if this is something for you. So that will wrap up and conclude this. I hope you found this video helpful. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments below. I would definitely like to get any kind of conversations going about this program. If this is a type of side hustle that you would like to start, go ahead and do that now. Ask your questions. I'd love to help you. Talk to you in the next video.